Hi, this is Wade Weaver from This Week in Wabash. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you share this video with as many people as you possibly can. Coming up on this program today, we're going to be speaking with the folks from Imagine 185. We'll give you more details about that. Also, Mayor Long, join the Wabash Morning Jam on Thursday. We'll share that conversation with you. Bev Ferry is going to join us, and she'll tell you about the Senior Center opening up on June 1st. More details on all of those activities. Plus, we will have more information for you about MSD School's Connor Rich. He's a senior, already graduated now, but we're going to find out what his life was like throughout his night career and also the internship that he has enjoyed. Plus, we don't want you to miss out on the interview we're getting ready to start with. It is Christine Floor, the executive director of Visit Wabash County, and the economic impact that the Tourism Bureau and the tourism that comes into Wabash County has on the local economy. So let's sit back and enjoy that and a whole lot more right here on This Week in Wabash. On This Week in Wabash, we speak with Christine Floor, the Executive Director of Visit Wabash County, the Tourism Bureau of Wabash County. Christine, it's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too. It's actually starting to feel good to see people in general, isn't it?
Yeah, it really
feels
is.
good.
Definitely is. On this show this week, we talked with Bev Ferry about how um, the Senior Center is going to be opening June 1st to a lot of the activities again. And so it is exciting. Concerts happening. I'm pumped.
It's incredibly important not only to the welfare of just humans and human interaction, so for those who utilize the senior center services, but also quality of life. We've been
Mhm.
spoiled for so long uh, to not have those amenities we're so used to
We
have them
won't
come back. It's good.
Yeah, we won't dwell on the issues we've had the last year and 3 months or whatever,
Yeah,
as far as
sure.
um, lack of individuals being able to travel to Wabash County. That was a huge impact on our community, was it not?
Absolutely. And that the economic impact report that we shared shows how vital tourism dollars are and how we anticipate the report that we do receive in the future from for 2020 will reflect that.
Yeah, and it wasn't just heads in beds, as some people call it, but we're talking about
Right.
all over the place. So tell us about this press release and this information you got.
Yeah, thank you. So we as you recall, the tourism office commissions to have a report done with the state of Indiana because we need real data to see what we're doing, and so it often is a year in arrears. So we received this report at the start of this at the start of 2021, but it's always a year in arrears. So these are 2019 numbers. Um, and what it shows is how vital tourism dollars are to our community. So not only is it to those who operate mom and pop shops and our destination organizations like the Honeywell Foundation properties or the national parks like Salamone and Mississinawa, but it's also important to people who live here for quality of life because people who live here spend their money here and infuse the local economy. But when tourists and visitors come in and spend their money, it's like bonus dollars to be utilized in our community and saves the taxpayer and just around $400 a year in annual taxes because it relieves the tax burden. So that's how it impacts those who live here and think, well, I don't do anything. I work at, a foundry. I don't run a boutique that requires tourists. How does it impact me? Well, it does because a resident who lives here benefits from the relief of the tax burden that tourism dollars do help. And what we've seen is in our this latest report that we've released is we had $59 million spent by tourists in Wabash County.
That's unreal. That
It's
seems unreal.
massive.
Yeah.
And so you think, how do we parallel that to other communities, other counties in the state? And so the study we have done reflects that. How do we compare? And the really cool thing is Visit Wabash County Wabash County and tourism dollars is ahead. We surpassed the annual tourism growth rate for all counties in Indiana by 2.4%.
Wow.
So we were ahead of the median by 2.4% across the state. And we were also ahead of communities like Indianapolis in tourism growth by 4.5%. So the work that we're doing with our partners in all the improvements you see, the programming that we offer at the tourism office in conjunction with other amenities and promoting it and drawing attention, working with media outlets to draw attention to the area shows that when we start to see those dollars come in and grow year after year after year. We received this report regarding 2014, and back Wade in 2014, you were still on the board at the time, and we were attracting $43.1 million into our community.
Wow.
So in 2014, we see 43.1 million. 2015, 49 million. 2016, 51 million. 2017, 53 million. And you can keep seeing it grow, which is what we wanted to do.
Right. Absolutely. And again, a reminder to the folks listening right now, and we appreciate you tuning into This Week in Wabash, but this was pre-COVID. This was 2019. Right?
Yes, this is 2019. And to be super honest and transparent, Wade, the state struggled with how they were going to release, because they're the same. They received their economic impact report for the state as a whole for 2019 as well. And they embargoed us releasing this information because they struggled with messaging, knowing that when we get the 2020 report, it's going to be drastically different, because we don't like to talk about the pandemic, but we have to be real and recognize it did have a significant impact, and it just trickled down. I'm sure you saw it. You know, people aren't making money. They're not spending money on advertising because nobody can come do the things that they want to advertise.
Right.
In traditional sense, a lot of people pivoted and found creative ways. So that was wonderful. But yes, these are 2019 numbers. You know, we look at the 2019 numbers. Yes, they were significantly high, and they are great, and they are based on the work that we do. But we just know that and realize that it reflects how vital tourism spending is. It's truly a significant economic driver to Wabash County.
Yes.
And we take that 59 million and we then study where is that money being spent. And you talked about heads and beds versus shopping, like how are tourists spending their money, and that's what this report tells us. So of that 59 million, 4.1% was spent on lodging. So 8.5% was spent on lodging. 8.5%, but it was an increase of 4.1% the previous year. But 29.7% of the 59 million was spent on retail and shopping.
Wow. Isn't that amazing?
So it's huge. And that's why over the last 10 years, we've seen 33 small businesses in the county open, because we have a support system in place with our marketing partners and media partners to advertise. The reach that they have, the programming all put together draws door traffic. That's what it is. We got to get people in the businesses. You talk about it all the time. I hear you talk about how do we get people into supporting our small businesses through those door swings. And so we recognize that if you could take 59 million, and you know that almost 30% of it is spent on retail, it's huge and it's impactful. The other larger portion of that is obviously entertainment and fuel and transportation. So a lot of people use us. So what does fuel and transportation mean? We are a pass-through community in the fact that 15,000 cars go up and down Wabash Street, moving from Indianapolis to Fort Wayne to Lake traffic. If we can catch them, have them fuel up, eat lunch here, eat dinner here, shop here, the statistic is about 70% will return back to Wabash County because of the impression that we leave on them. And so we harness that energy and work super close with key decision makers in North Manchester and the city of Wabash, and our rural communities like Rowan, who have installed new gateway signs. Little Fountain is doing some great things. Somerset. There are gateways into the larger areas like the city of Wabash or the town of North Manchester they're just as important to attracting visitors to stop and stay or stop and explore. And we
Yeah.
recognize that.
What's interesting too
Yeah.
is in 2020, the COVID year, we have a new hotel opening up, and you mentioned
Yes.
all of the new businesses, and even coming out of, people were still, I guess, feeling confident with this county to open those businesses even during the pandemic.
Yes. Now, just to clarify, those 33 businesses are collective over the course of several years,
Oh, okay.
but
I'm sorry. Yeah,
not just in 2020. That's through the
gotcha.
course of several years. Yeah.
But we've had a
I mean,
bunch last year.
oh, we did.
Yeah.
There were 9 just in North Manchester. There
Right.
were 9 in the town of North Manchester.
Right.
That's a testament to the community that we live in. And you have heard this for years, Wade, and the role you've played in the community in multiple capacities and currently. And what Wabash County does and has is unique. It is.
Hmm.
I just got an email from the town of Portland who reached out, and they were here for a conference. The Indiana Mayors Association, Assistant Association was here. And they wanted us to come, essentially, they've invited us to mentor their community
Hmm.
because they're trying. But it's more than just beautification, it's planning. And you know that it takes
Yeah.
years and years of planning and supporting and listening and learning. And that's what this academic impact report tells us. It's multifaceted as it talks numbers. People want to know dollars and cents. How does this impact me? But then we also report on the work that we're doing as a team, and that's critical too. And you know that because you've seen the different pieces of Visit Wabash County and
Right.
the work that we have with creating experiences like Trolley Number 85 tours or the Ornament program or large scale projects like Dam to Dam that draw people from quite literally across the country to having a beautiful welcome center where people can come in and connect with merchants and artisans from throughout the county. So it's a multifaceted approach to connect with people one-to-one sincerely.
Are you excited we get to do the Dam to Dam this year?
Oh, thank you for asking that. We have had record registration already.
Good.
We are well over 300 from across the country. And we have corporations who've reached out who said, I'm the wellness coach for business X. And for instance, this is a Fort Wayne based company. They have 1,300 employees and they want to pay for any employee that wants to participate in Dam to Dam. The company will cover it. That's
Beautiful.
huge
Yeah,
and
that
speaks
is.
volumes about the quality of the event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you handle if they get every employee, 1,300 riders?
You know how I
We'd
get
figure it
all
out.
nervous. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd figure it out. We'd start counting peanut butter. If
Keith
you have
Walters is Keith
this
Walters is
many,
watching this show right now going, ah.
right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned Keith Walters. He is I can't thank him enough for what he continues to do. I don't think people really get what emergency management does. They are so much more than just the volunteers with flashlights out directing a hazardous situation. They are
Mhm.
incredibly dedicated to selflessly serving our community. They
Yeah.
really are. We
Very great.
appreciate them. So Keith, if you're watching, thank you. And
Yeah.
all of you.
We'll get back to you a little bit later on and do a Dam to Dam segment if you don't mind. We'd love to.
Sure, absolutely. That'd be
Yeah.
great.
A little closer to that. And
Yeah, be good.
yeah, it's just very exciting. Thank you for being on the show. We will talk to you again.
Absolutely. The full report synopsis is
Yes.
on Your News Local. So if you missed that post, I encourage you to read it because whether you're listening as a local resident or listening from afar, because I know your reach is far, those numbers are imperative and they're important. And so we are just really grateful to see the growth continue for Wabash County. So thank
I'm,
you, Wade, for having me on.
you're welcome. I'm excited. A little later on in the show, we're going to talk with Kyle May. I'm sure you've met Kyle May.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
he's been commissioned along with on the show. He's going to have the folks from Manchester and Adam Penrod. So
Oh,
we're going to
yeah,
talk.
for sure.
This is our first week of a weekly series that they're going to be on this show talking about the Imagine 185 situation.
25.
So
Critical, and another example of why Wabash County continues to see growth and survive such tough times.
Today at MSD Wabash County, we have with us Mr. Connor Rich, who is a senior at Southwood Junior Senior High School, but maybe more importantly for him, this is the last day of school. So good afternoon, Connor.
Good afternoon.
So go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and the activities you have been a part of here at Southwood High School.
My name is Connor Rich. My mom is Connie Rich, and I have one brother and one sister, Lauren and Carson. I'm a senior, and this is my last day at Southwood. Some of the activities that I've been involved in have been all the sports you can think of, really. Football, basketball. I did a year of track and wrestling, and then baseball. And we had a good group of senior guys, and it was always fun. And then I recently just got into the Technical Honor Society, so that was pretty cool, or the National Technical Honor Society. So those are about all the activities I've done.
Okay, so let's think about all those activities because you've been involved with a lot. We've seen you a lot doing a lot of amazing things. So maybe just pick 2 highlights. And you want to do 3, that's okay too. But 2 or 3 highlights of your high school career here at Southwood.
I would say probably today is one of the highlights. Last day.
Yeah.
And then something I'll never forget is at the regional for basketball when my brother hit the game-winning shot. I'll probably never forget that. That was really cool to watch. So those are probably 2 highlights.
Okay. And I'm sure there's a lot more highlights if we
tons.
gave you more time. I don't know if Wade has enough room in his iPhone to store all of the great highlights that you have. So, and of course, you just mentioned this. In addition to being a student here at Southwood, you have been at Heartland Career Center. And so tell us a little bit about the program there and your experiences and what you've liked with the experiences at Heartland.
I was involved in the precision machining class for 2 years. We work with machines called mills and lathes, and I focused more on the manual mills and lathes there, making projects, and Heartland also offers certifications that you can get through a company called NIMS for the machining industry, and I happened to get 3 of those, so that's really cool. But I really enjoyed Heartland because you get out of school and you can do something that you really are interested in, and then walking out of Heartland, you have tons of opportunities, like right out of the gate. So.
Well, before I ask you this next question, though, so you say you get out of school, but do you realize that Heartland Career Center is a school?
Yeah, it's kind of like, you get out of these classes that you don't really want to take, in my opinion. And you can really focus on something you really like, which I really like that.
Right, and they have a lot of great programs.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of great classes here at Southwood Junior Senior High School, but we do know that when you get to that point where you have a passion for something different and you find it at Heartland, it's great. And so they do have a lot of great programs. And so I had to give you a little jab about that too. So
I didn't mean it like that.
No, I know you don't. So or did not, but interesting. So this year too, I've seen on social media, Heartland has done this, and really appreciate that they're doing that. Some people sign letters of intent and different things like that for athletics. But now they're starting to actually have people sign and certifications for different things. So tell us a little bit about your internship with the Global Precision Parts, and you were recognized for that. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yep, I was highlighted through Heartland because the internship ran through Heartland, but at Global Precision Parts, I mainly just sorted parts and measured them with tools called calipers and micrometers and a bunch of different gauges that help measure the parts and make sure they're good for shipping. And then I would occasionally pull parts from shelves and prepare them to be shipped. But I really enjoyed the internship because it taught me basic measurement skills that I would need in the next step. And it also taught me a lot about time management because when you only have 3 hours a day to get a certain amount done, you really have to plan ahead, and then you have to get to practice. So I really liked that part. I thought I did a good job with managing my time.
Okay. Well, and you have to be an athlete or any kind of extracurricular, because not only do you have the practices and the sporting events in your school, you also have homework to be able to accomplish. And so that's one thing great about people that are involved in extracurricular, because you learn early about how to take care of time management, and then even doing what you did there, you learned that other places, and that was great. So where is this Global Precision Parts? It's hard to say. Global Precision Parts. There we go.
I believe the address is Wedcore 202 Avenue. It's right by the Big R, or the Stock and Field now, right off of 15 in that little industrial park.
Yes.
And so drive there after I get out of lunch, and then work for them, come back to practice, call it a day.
Okay. Yeah, so I thought it was out Industrial Park, and so that's neat that it's part of that. And it also is great that Mrs. Johnson, our teacher, and also with who did you work through at Heartland as far as the internship? Is that through Mrs. Johnson or is that through someone with Heartland?
It's through Heartland. I can't remember the exact person because I think it's like mainly just Heartland, but
Okay.
Our instructor and then Pete DuPont help us get everything situated so we can be ready to get internships,
Yeah.
make sure we're ready.
Yeah, they do great work out there too.
yeah.
And so we had the professional internships here through Northfield and Southwood, and then of course through Heartland too. They have theirs, and that's they do a wonderful job there too. So now let's talk about last day of school. When people see this, you'll be out of school. So what are the next steps? You already mentioned, you alluded to that a little bit. So tell us your next steps.
Well, my next step is probably baseball. We got the sectional this week, so hopefully we can make a run at that, go as far as we can go, and be satisfied with our season. And then June 14th, I start at Ford Meter Box for in the machining department. I'm working third shifts, so I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous, but I'm ready.
So you're actually going to be working at 4 Meter Box as a machinist?
Yep,
And,
for the summer program right now.
For your summer program, and then is that something that will carry on through the fall, or what's?
As of right now, I'm hoping it will. They'll evaluate me in August around the fall time to see if I can be hired full-time, which I'm hoping I can be.
Okay, sounds great. So anything else that you'd like to share before we close our interview today?
Last day of school, I had a lot of fun in high school, and I would just say turn in your work and never give up.
All right. So great advice here by Connor Rich. So we really appreciate all that you've done, your positive attitude, the success that you've had through yourself individually and through all the teams that you've been a part of. And I also look forward to June 6th at 2 p.m., which you'll be graduating here from Southwood High School. So again, at MSD of Wabash County, dream big and work hard.
Well, Mayor, it's a gorgeous day on this Thursday that we're doing this. It's one of those days where you just want to wake up and have a cup of coffee out on the front porch.
It's exactly what I'm doing, and you know how good it is.
Is it really good?
And an American bald eagle just flew over my neighborhood.
What? Do they come into town like that? I mean, I know they go by the river, but I didn't.
First time I've ever seen one out this far. Gave me chills.
Whoa. No, I've never.
He's flying back towards the river, he or she.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. Yeah.
Your eyes aren't that good. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. And then, male St. Louis Cardinal just flew by, and he's out in the flower bed.
Man, I saw one in the road the other day bouncing around, and I thought, I better not. I better not.
Yeah.
I'll let the Cubs do it. Well, hey, this week in Wabash is going to be loaded tomorrow at noon on 1059thebash.com, and also Saturday morning we play excerpts from it. And anyway, there's a great chance for folks to learn a little bit more about Imagine 185. And I know that you've been involved in that whole thing, and Kyle May and North Manchester's Adam Penrod are on the show this week, but we're going to do a weekly show and a weekly update leading up to that big event in July. So this has been a big thing you've been working on, right?
We've been working on this, I want to say for a year. We started right at the beginning of COVID, so a lot of it's been done lately by Zoom meetings, but we've had quite a few in-person meetings, and we want to get the community involved. And there's a myriad of things that we're trying to get accomplished, and it's basically one plan for Wabash County on various things, be it housing, zoning, just all types of stuff. And we want to make sure, like I've said before, we think everybody's in the same boat. We just need to ensure that everybody's rowing in the same direction,
right,
and we're not rowing against each other. So that's what we're hoping to accomplish with this, so that everything kind of matches up from, Row Inn to Wabash, Wabash to North Manchester, Wabash County to Fountain. We're all doing the same things when it comes to progressing forward. within the county, and it's a big undertaking. We've got a lot of public input, and yeah, it's been really good. Really good.
I thought it was interesting, Kyle, because I had said, when we were running for mayor, and you've heard it over and over again before that and during now, and we got to have jobs, got to have housing. I said, it's not that easy, is it? And he goes, actually, it is that easy. We have to do the things that get us to that point. And he said, in fact, we actually have created a lot of jobs. Part of the problem is those folks commute from outside of our counties. We got to get them to live here, right?
Yep, absolutely. And that's what you being on the city council and my direction has been since I took office, especially on the GDX site. We're progressing on that. Parkview Hospital, former site. We're trying to create more housing to attract people to live here. And I don't necessarily, they don't have to work here. Commute to Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
But live here in Wabash, support our local businesses.
Right.
And that's the goal with the new housing projects that we're undertaking.
Yeah, and we have a few. It's really exciting. Road work. I know people are getting anxious, and I see a lot of posts, and I hear a lot of things. A lot of it's NDOT, am I right?
It's all
NDOT
right
it's
now.
all NDOT.
Yeah, and hey, guess what, Wade?
What?
The mayor has problems getting home too. I guess fortunately for me, being a former police officer, I know some roads that most people don't take, so I can avoid, large traffic. And Albert Street and Harrison Avenue, those have both been busy. Miami Street's been busy. Wabash Street north of Stitt Street's been busy. And you may sit in a line at some of these four-way stops for a little bit. But I'm going to say we're about a month out. I know I've had some concerns raised, and I had some concerns driving down Cass Street that some of the manhole lids are 3 to 4 inches below the pavement. And I made some calls yesterday, and they are waiting until all the pavement is done. Then they will come back through. E&B will and adjust those castings up to be level with the pavement.
Okay.
So don't get bent out of shape about that. Try to avoid them until they get them raised up. But it's just the way they do things. We thought maybe they'd raise them up before they pave, but they assured me, no, we're coming back through. And my wastewater plant ordered a bunch of castings and riser rings and things like that to accomplish that mission. We've had them on hand for a while. So you'll see that happening here pretty quick. They were scheduled to mill Market Street and Canal Street yesterday and today. Well, obviously the rain put the kibosh on that yesterday. So we're hoping they'll come in Monday and Tuesday and mill those because, we've relayed to them, hey, next Friday's First Friday, and we're going to have a ton of people downtown.
Right.
So we're trying to get that milled and hopefully paved. It won't take them long to pave it once they get down. I mean, if you look at the paving they're doing and the width of those two state roads, they're wider than most city streets. They're knocking it out pretty quick when the weather's conducive. So they're hustling. Let's just say that they're trying to get it done.
All right, very good. Is there anything else that the fine folks need to know about?
Yeah, I want to mention there was a Volkswagen Mitigation Trust lawsuit, and I was able to secure a grant to get 4 electric vehicle charging stations. And the sponsor of this moment, Jones & Son Contracting, are installing those this week. We had a meeting with Duke Energy in the rain yesterday morning on the final 2. We do have 2 installed, one in front of the museum and then one in the Veterans Plaza parking lot. So we're going to have 8 spots total because they're dual port chargers, so you can charge 2 cars at once. available downtown in various areas. One of them will be at the YMCA, fairly close to the all-inclusive playground at the edge of their parking lot there. The other one will be near the American Legion, so Market Street. And the reason the locations were selected is because we already had electrical high voltage power going in the boxes and the sidewalks at three of the locations, and then the one at the Y is right next to a pole with a transformer. So that'll open up opportunities. As I've been told, people that have electric vehicles will look at a map where the charger's at if they're driving cross country or whatever, and they'll select where they're going to stop to recharge.
Gotcha.
So the thought is, if they come to downtown Wabash and they got to plug in and charge for 2 to 3 hours, what better thing to do than shop our shops downtown?
There you go.
And eat at some of the restaurants. So
Or go work out.
There you go.
Yeah,
there
exactly.
You go. Work out at the Y, enjoy the playground.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get the first 2 ramped up and running within the next couple of weeks, and we got about a 4 to 5 week lead time with Duke on getting the other 2 fully outfitted with the electrical stuff that they need. So
I got a really dumb question, probably because I don't understand it yet. I've heard, Tesla, and I heard these. Are all electric vehicles, do they all use the same charging?
Well, the chargers, yes, and Tesla, as I understand it, has an adapter that comes with the car.
Okay.
That it can use these charging stations.
Gotcha.
Tesla, I think, has a proprietary charger for their cars, but there's an adapter that you can connect to.
Okay.
Plug in and charge. So yeah, so your GMs and now if you look at it, Ford's coming out with a Lightning F-150 pickup truck that's going to be electric, and they're trying to go to clean emissions electric vehicles. All the companies are doing it. So what better time to be prepared for that? We're going to have 4 chargers downtown, and we may have to, in 4 or 5 years, install a couple more. Who knows? So we'll see. But
nice.
Trying to be ahead of the curve on that.
There you go. Well, that sounds good. Well, any big plans for Memorial Day weekend?
No, and that's the Wabash County Veterans Service Office canceled the Memorial Day service in light of the governor wasn't. Continued the executive order until May 31st, so they went ahead and canceled that. And City Hall's been, we've gotten a couple of emails. Can't believe that City of Wabash canceled the Memorial Day service. We didn't cancel it. We participate every year, and we look forward to that every year. And I'm doing a little bit of research now. I happen to, when my mother passed away in February, I was given my dad's discharge from World War II, and I'm looking at that thing and looking at the battles and campaigns that he participated in that he never spoke of. Normandy all the way through the final battle of Central Europe. His unit was in all of those, and he spent a lot of time over there. But, that just makes it all the more special Memorial Day for me. Fortunately, he came home. There were a lot of guys that didn't.
Yeah.
So, still want to honor those people on Memorial Day, even if we don't have a ceremony. And there's another reason we're doing the Heroes Memorial that we're going to install down by the Wabash Street Bridge where the flagpoles were installed.
Right.
And Christine Flores taken the lead on that. And I think the first week they sold over 140 of the name plaques on that. So that's something to look forward to. We'll have 3 7-foot tall kind of obelisks down there that you can purchase a name plaque for your veteran's name to be put on there. So that'll be installed, and we'll dedicate that on Veterans Day in November this year.
Awesome. While you're talking about that, I get the question about the flags. Will there be, when is that open again? Is that going to happen again?
I'm not sure we're going to do the banners again.
Okay, the banners.
Those banners will come down, and the people that purchase those will be given those banners.
Okay.
I kind of let Visit Wabash County handle that.
Got it.
So I'm not sure what we're going to do. We wanted to do these 3 obelisks down there because there were a lot of people that didn't get banners.
Right.
So this is going to be a permanent plaque on, nameplate that'll be there forever, hopefully.
Exactly.
On these 3 obelisks down there. So,
okay.
Not sure what we're going to do on the banners. I'm sure they'll come up with something.
Best thing to do is get your name on those obelisks. That's awesome. It was $100. It's only $100. What a great way to honor.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, thank you again for the call, but also thank you for your service. Hope you have a good weekend. Enjoy that. And what great memories you got from your father. That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Awesome.
truly.
Okay.
Have a great weekend, Wade.
All right. We'll talk to you.
Dare to dream about it. Dare to dream about it with Terrell Realty.
On This Week in Wabash, Bev Ferry joins us from Living Well in Wabash County. Bev, it's always good to have you. We're back, and we've been doing this for a few weeks.
We have, and I appreciate it. It's such a great way to get the information out about us. We are the best kept secret.
Yes, absolutely. And there's kind of a secret. Something's happening on June 1st. Can you tell us?
Yes, most of our programs are returning on June 1st. It's a Tuesday, so not everything happens on Tuesdays. But yoga, for the advanced yoga that we have, Cindy Jans teaches that. That's back at 5:30 that night. It just feels like forever since we've had it. And then Euchre's back. Now, anybody coming to Euchre, they need to know there is absolutely no way to social distance. If you're coming to Euchre, you're going to be sitting at the card tables. So if you're trying to social distance, this is one event you shouldn't come to.
Right.
And also, you really should be vaccinated to do it because you are in contact with the cards and right up close. So everything else we're trying to offer, maybe social distancing on one side of the room and people who just like to mingle on the other side. We're segregating it by activity. So line dancing also returns there, but they're coming, they start Wednesday, June 9th, 8:30 in the morning to 10 a.m. So you can get out, get your exercise going, and then go do your day. Sherry Wakefield is the one who does that. And anybody in Wabash County who has ever done line dancing knows Sherry Wakefield. So, and the class is free. Sam is that Thursday, so that's June 3rd. And people can put Sam on the calendar. He's always here, always playing for us the first Thursday of the month. And it's so cool that now we can have people in the building. I just can't get used to it yet. So we've got yoga starting, and again, it's advanced yoga. And then of course, MJ's class, and we still ask people to sign up so we know what to set up for, because it's so different than what it used to be. I mean, we just don't know who will come. So we just ask for that. And then we ask for people's continued cooperation with the mask on the bus. We are, in terms of public safety, we are covered by the Transportation Services Administration, TSA.
Mm-hmm.
So like is at the airport. So they still cover us, and they are requiring masks. So even though you might go out and about and visit somebody outside the bus, when you're in the bus, you have to wear the mask, and we're still social distancing.
Nice. Any
So
restrictions as far as will you ever get to the point where you ask people if they're vaccinated, or?
It's so personal. I don't know. I've had that conversation with my guest speakers. because that is a little more of an issue, right? It's when they're presenting and whether they're vaccinated or not. And I have one presenter who's going to wear a mask when she does that because she's not vaccinated. So, it gets kind of tricky because you don't know what to do. So we are putting out in our newsletter mask etiquette. The social people of the day writing the etiquette, they never thought of masks. So actually, have you heard social etiquette with mask wearing? Have you heard this? It is like Emily Post never had to think about it. If you're talking to someone wearing a mask, it is polite and proper etiquette to put your mask on as well.
Oh.
And don't assume that someone wants to get closer than 6 feet. Now, that could go for a lot of times and not just coming out of the pandemic. So don't crowd people. They may really not want you to be within that 6 feet. And the other thing is, don't comment. If they have a mask on, put your mask on. You don't need to ask them. It's their personal, whatever it is, you don't know. Heck, they could have a cold, not want to spread it to you. But so there's the etiquette. You have to, it's basically, it comes out of respect. But because there are multiple reasons for wearing a mask, it could be that you have something you don't want to pass on to somebody or whatever else, put on your mask. If you're in conversation with someone and they have a mask on, put yours on too. You don't have to say anything. And I've done that here with the seniors. I think the first time you do it with somebody, it might take them back, but it's just a show of respect and honoring what their choices are. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's the mask etiquette by Bev Ferry.
Yeah. Nice. So, did you finish up? Do you have all the activities for June or what?
Okay. So, that Wabash Community Band concert was so terrific.
Yeah.
In May. We're bringing them back in June.
Nice.
So, I encourage people to come. It is Sunday, June 27th at 2:00. Put it on the calendar. You don't want to miss it. It'll be at the same place, Wabash City Park off of Hill Street in the large pavilion, and it's open. It is a really cool way if you have grandchildren or maybe you get antsy when you're sitting there. Well, that's fine. Sit in the grass where a lot of people, they brought their own chairs and just walk around because not everybody likes to sit for an hour. So we're bringing that back and we're excited about that. It feels good to be able to say yoga and euchre and, we'll have a couple bingo days. It's on the 10th, we're doing a birthday party inside for the first time in a year. We're excited about that. And that is June 10th, 1:00. And we are having a birthday bash. And it's with the gals from SHIP who do the, it's MIPA and Medicare. And so it's a fun to have we'll have a lot of prizes and we'll have cupcakes for the birthday.
That is awesome. And of course, every week we'll remind people of what's coming the next week. So if you didn't
Absolutely.
get all of that, watch the video again or just tune in again next Friday. Bev, thank you for your time again.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All righty. On This Week in Wabash, we are joined by Adam Penrod up there in the right-hand corner from North Manchester, the town manager, and a gentleman named Kyle May, and he's over there on the left corner. Good to have you guys here today. I appreciate you both. Kyle, you've been, I guess, commissioned or hired or whatever the word you want to use to talk about and get a groups of people together in Wabash County. Explain what Imagine 185 is.
Yeah, Wade, really appreciate you having us on here. Again, my name is Kyle May. I'm a senior planner with Planning Next. We're a community planning firm based just over the border here in Columbus, Ohio. We got started with some leaders in and around the county here about 8 months ago, trying to understand some of the critical trends, challenges, and opportunities that are going on in your network, of communities. Really, a principle among them has been this idea about population, decline, Wade. From a high point in 1980, this community has lost on average about 100 people each year for various reasons. And one of the things that we've been tasked with looking at, through this work and through this plan, is a solution to that solution to that problem. Creating communities that are attractive for young families, for growth and for investment. And in ways we got started in this, we're really at this at two angles. One angle is working with as many community leaders, as many stakeholders, but also the community overall to understand their intuition, experience, and perspective. And on the other side is all about the technical work that we've been doing, the demographics, economics, land use analysis, just really trying to understand the DNA of this place, how it got here and where it may go, both on the negative in terms of challenges, but also we do this work because we're optimistic about the future. That's why you do a plan. And we're really trying to craft policy and projects here to take advantage of some of your principal opportunities and potential here in the county.
It's so funny when I ask people in the community, what do you think we can do to get more people? Well, you got to have jobs and you got to have housing and yeah, it's not that simple, is it, Kyle?
Now, there's lots of chickens and lots of eggs, I think, in this situation. But, in a sense, though, Wade, it is kind of simple when you really boil it down and we talk about population growth. There are some fundamentals there. There are some pillars. People are looking for quality housing, right? You got to have places to house people. People are looking for great schools. And not to say you don't have them today, but, just like every district, there's always room for growth and improvement. And people are looking for those amenities, but most important, jobs, among them. And luckily in your community, what's interesting, you've done a good job of growing that jobs base. Even while your population's declined, your job base has increased. But the problem is the amount of people that are commuting into the county each year grows just as the population declines. So we've got to find ways in this project and this work to capture some of those commuters and make them long-term residents of North Manchester, Wabash, or some other place.
Absolutely. Well, let's bring in Adam Penrod from North Manchester. And again, you're part of the county, and I feel like when I first got here about 20 years ago, there was this wall that was built, 16, and you've heard it before. But I feel like in the last 20 years, we've done a better job of tearing down that wall, if you will.
Yep, I've heard many times about the wall, and I think I've been town manager almost 5 years now, and I hear it less and less each year. And really, I don't see the wall, I think, anymore. We communicate as a county more than we ever have. I text Mayor Long, I text Brian Hopper, I text Keith Gillenwater. Bob Ferguson's an email away. All these other leaders in other communities, we talk more than we ever have, especially when we got our steering committee together to work on this project. We've got to know each other. There's only positives from those meetings and communication. So any wall that I see, it must be a wall for a mouse, because I'm not seeing it. And we are just a short drive to any one location in the county. So really looking at it as a county-wide, we get along, and that can't be said from a lot of other communities to have that. So that's why we want to have a county comp plan, not just a town or city plan, because we really want the best for our neighbors in the county.
All right, very good. Kyle, before we move on to next week's segment, what we're going to talk about, obviously we're going to talk about population for the rest of our time this week, but we are going to have a series of these. So we're going to be talking every week. Is that right?
Yeah, I love it, Wade, if you'll have us. I mean, there's one of the issues with doing a comprehensive plan is that word comprehensive. There's a lot of data and just findings that we reveal through the work. And what we really struggle to do sometimes as Wade is try to really distill that down into just the core nuggets of information that if you know nothing else, please know this. And we started your way with population because that's the critical indicator for you all, right? That's how we know where we're going, as a community. It's not the only thing, right? But when we think about vitality, vibrancy, growth, that population question becomes pretty important pretty quickly. But Wade, there's other things that link into that, whether it's jobs and the economy, whether it's about housing, public health. One of the amazing amenities that you all have, whether you know it or not, is the green places in and around your county. The rivers, the streams, the reservoirs, for goodness sake. There's so much green out there, and it's a principal amenity for you. So, Wade, with your permission, we'd love to talk about all those things, I think, as we can here over the next few weeks leading up to a pretty big event for your community in July.
No, it's vital that we do. And I ran for mayor a few years ago with Boo Salb and Scott Long, and a lot of the things you just keep hearing when you do that is, again, the jobs and the this and the that. But I also hear, nobody ever really asks me if what my opinion is. I feel like there's a core group of people, maybe 10, and they make all the decisions for us. When you first started this, Imagine 185, you've asked, you've begged, and you've looked for as many community folks as possible. Is that true?
Oh yeah, and you're right on the begging part.
Yeah.
Hopefully, as we get deeper into this, people start to see what we're really up to, and I think that this is again an inherently positive, optimistic process that we've started here with Imagine 185. And ideally, Wade, it's not just about a plan. This becomes a movement for your community, for your communities around the county, and we see this opportunity in July as a pretty punctuating one for what we've done. The Imagine 185 Growth Summit, July 14th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Honeywell Plaza, is really going to be a moment in time, not just for this process, but we hope for the communities as well. We're going to bring people together. We're going to share a lot about what we've learned. We're going to have some great entertainment that really showcases the best of, this county, some great food as well. But we're going to get people together, keyword together, because I know we haven't been able to do that in a while, but get people together to really sink their teeth into these issues, make some decisions, start to build a plan that community members have both of their hands on and can continue to do so as we start to implement it, Wade. So I'm really excited about that opportunity, and I hope that all your listeners plan to be there as well.
That's great. And I'm sure as we get closer, you'll give us a few more details. Quit teasing us a little bit, right? That's great. Hey, you sent out a press release on Wednesday of this week, and it's on yournewslocal.com. They can take a look at the chart, A Future with Fewer, and there's some information there that you can follow up with this conversation we're having here, right? Anything you want to say about that?
No, just it's the first in again a series of these critical issues releases that we're going to want to be doing here toward the end of May and then throughout the month of June, just trying to trickle out all the nuggets of critical information that we've learned, including from great partners like Adam, who's sharing the screen with me, here today. I want to make sure though, Wade, as we throw these out, that you also remember as places there's a lot of potential in this community, more so than other counties, even in the state of Indiana, where I've worked, quite a bit over the last decade. So people should remember that it's not just all the doom and gloom. It's also about taking advantage of who you are, who you could be, and also these big offloads of money that are coming. There's a lot we got to take advantage of there too. So I'm excited, Wade, about the potential here.
That's awesome. Thanks again, you guys. Adam Penrod, you're doing a wonderful job. North Manchester has had a huge growth in businesses opening up. We just talked to Christine Floor in the early part of this show, and you've seen some great growth with businesses. Wabash is seeing some, boutiques and other businesses opening up. So if you just saw this part of the show, make sure you rewind it and go all the way to the beginning with Christine Floor from Visit Wabash County and the economic impact of tourism. It's a great segment. And again, thanks, you guys. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week. Tune in again next Friday for another edition of This Week in Wabash. And also check out the radio program on Sunday mornings at 9 right here on 1059thebash.com and 1059 The Bash Radio.